late night, late night live, late night live. I thought I'd talk about an idea I had about, are we on the brink of repack wars? I was thinking about this a while ago when Jeff announced graded grails. I'm like, well, basically all you did is you set up PSA to be a third party, and you're not exclusive, so anybody could use this. And is this going to start a graded grail retail repack war? Yesterday, I forget whose video I was watching. Somebody was interviewing Arena Club. Guys, Arena Club has actually come out with a physical repack. They have a physical repack they're going to retail markets with. They're going to breakers with. Which I'll say this. We were looking at repacks as a breaker and how to have them built. And I said, but really the market needs is someone like Arena Club just to basically stand up and offer repacking as a third party option to breakers or other parties. In other words, Arena Club's already got the inventory. They've got the infrastructure. They could build out Arena Club repacks, but why sell them themselves? Why not just sell them for Filth Bombs and, Blez and, just rebrand for them? They could have done this a year ago. Now you've already seen, Blez has gone, hey, what's up, Stooks? Now you've seen Blez has gone out with their own repack, a web-based repack. Like I said, Arena Club made a physical repack. Jeff made a physical repack. You got to assume Jeff will launch a virtual repack. PSAs in every repack they can get into. It's like a repack war. But it's not really a war, I guess. So they're not really fighting right now. But are they? Will they be? I mean, I don't know. I will say real quickly as I take a step back, I appreciate people coming in and listening to me late night live talking about the repack war. Let me simply go on the record and say a couple things. I am not a fan of repacks. I'm not. I've always said, if they're so great, why didn't we have them before? Which we did have them before, but they've never been as big as they are now. I can't answer that one yet, because we did have them before. And most time people saw them as kind of the scam that they were, that, oh, the repack's fixed. He's getting his buddy a good car. You're never going to hear anything good in that. Like you don't hear about the guy who bought the $20 envelope at the local card store, who went home, opens it at home, and gets a $15,000, $5,000, $500 hit. It doesn't happen, right? It just does not happen. If best case, that hit happens at the card show because his buddy opened it, so everybody else comes over. Oh, I saw you had a really good card in that. But generally, grab bags in the old days were just kind of seen as a gimmicky. But here we are in 2025, and they're weaponized, man. They are weaponized. And again, I was thinking about putting a video together on, because I did look into building a repacks, looked into all the things that go into that. I have friends who are in the repacking business world. It's very, very easy to do. It really, really is. It's so freaking easy to make repack. It's ridiculous. I'm not just saying that the numbers on the spreadsheet, but going out and buying product. How much fun is that to go out and buy product at 90%, right? Think about that. People are coming up to you. You're Mr. Happy. They're getting 90%. You're smiling. They're smiling. Again, quick repack science here. 10 envelopes I'm going to make. One of them's going to have a big winner. 5 of them are going to have big losers. One of them's going to have a really big loser. And what's that leave me with? 6, 7, 3 medium winners, right? Now we've got, like I said, these certified repacks, virtual repacks. The virtual repacks really worry me. I saw a video on, and again, I've seen this with Arena Club. I don't think they're very open about their algorithm and how it's being used, because they make comments about how they use some algorithm, but then they add a factor to it, which would throw off the randomness if that's the case. I don't know. Just, it seems suspect to me. I did hear somebody say they feel like all this repack money will probably grab attention of regulators. I'm going to say that's optimistic, but I don't think it'll happen. Like, I don't think that's going to happen anytime in the next 3.5 years. I don't. And even after that, I don't see it on the top of the list. When let's just assume things change, which I don't know if they would. Like, why do you think regulators would come in and regulate this stuff. In fact, if anything, it's about tax money. And if these businesses are paying their taxes, which I bet they are, they don't care where the money's coming from. Really, I don't think they do. I do think, I've said this before, I really think of this industry smart. We should create some association, pre-regulation, self-regulation, set some standards, put some boundaries in the water, explain what it is, what's going on. At the same time, I was at the National. I talked to several people about it. Several people were, and this was just about braking, and many were not very interested. In fact, one major breaker kind of laughed at me, and I kind of understand. Like, put it this way: if you had things going really well for you, and some guys coming in and going, basically trying to sell you an insurance policy. But when things don't go well, what if they don't go well? Let me explain to you. You're not going to listen to that. So I don't know, man. That's why I feel like the hobby for many people, they come in and they're very people come in and they either love it or they hate it or they do both. But I think at a certain time you get envious, you get bitter over how's this guy doing that? How's this person doing this? How'd that happen? And I don't know. I think it's where we get back to repacks, right? I've come to a point where I don't currently have a repack product. I don't. I'm not involved in repacks, but I understand why people are. I also understand the repack market, as Neo said, is propped up a lot of stuff. Neo makes some really good points about that. The buying of the repack. In fact, here's a quick example. Another thought on on the big difference between vintage and modern. Repacking is major in the modern, major. And why is that? Because it's about velocity of selling, right? It's about the ability, how fast and how many times can I sell that card, right? So a Luca Silver Prism, and put it this way, any rookie Silver Prism coming out, licensed Silver Prism, Topps Chrome, rookie, has potential. As soon as he's printed, he has potential. We don't know what he's going to do, but he has potential. There's a hype behind him. Cooper is the big one right now, but they all have potential. Here's the reality. For the next 3 years, those rookies, depending on the sport, can do almost anything they want to do. Up, down, crash, soar, have a good game, have bad games, and they are going to sell multiple times in that 3-year time period. Multiple times. I'd love to track that. Like, it could give you that data. Would be like ComC when they have the cards come in, they can see how many times a card transacts or whatever. eBay would probably give you that data. In fact, Mac, maybe I put some eBay data into ChatGPT to look at that. But again, the velocity of modern cards in that rookie 3-year window is amazing. Now, for vintage, I look at vintage like tar. And what I mean by that, it's sticky, baby. Modern is like water. It's freaking flowing, water everywhere, water everywhere. In fact, a friend of mine best said it this way. Oh, look, I got some people. Mike Petty's in here. Give me my repacks. I mean, I would love to have Mr. Petty. I'd love to do a live session with you one night. Tar, let me explain why. It's sticky. It doesn't move. If you're into it, you're into it, man. People like tar. They love it. And I don't mean like they like tar, but it's like Play-Doh. I don't know. It's sticky. It's not moving fast. Modern, it's just water. We're just drinking it and moving on and peeing it out. I mean, really, you pee it out. People say to me, what are you collecting in modern? Nothing. But I'm having a great freaking time. Like, here's a good example. And I see I got a bunch of vintage guys in here. Go listen to Sports Card Professor and SCV talk tonight. And it was funny because you really got the view, in my opinion, of Sports Card Professor asking these, well, they have a PC. What do you collect? And SCV's just being very transactional about, look, man, I just go after the quarterbacks. Okay. I go back to quarterbacks, I grade them, and I sell them. You do buy product? Yeah. Depending on the product's out there, you have a 3-week window. All the things that SCV's saying, I'm like, yep. And it's not like he invented anything. And I think he'd even admit it himself. The difference is he's not emotionally attached to the cards like most people are. Tar. Again, you see what I'm saying? Tar. Maybe it's a resin, a hash, but sticky. It gets on you. Syrup, maybe. Modern is water, buddy. It's water. It's everywhere. It flows around you. Oh, back to a friend of mine made a comment, goes, water is like money. Find a place that makes you wet and stay there. So again, in modern, that's what I like about modern. Really, it is. I could stay in modern all the time. And just as new rookie classes come out, pick one or two rookies that I think are going to perform well. And I don't even care if they perform well on the field, perform well based on market conditions, and buy them and sell them, and buy them and sell them, and buy them and sell them. And typically buy them, grade them, sell them, buy them, grade them, sell them, which is what, SCV says. um, Back to the repacks, which again, I'll say this too. It's interesting why repacks don't work as well in vintage as they do in modern, and they do work in vintage. You guys probably know there are definitely vintage repacks. Man, USA Cards is out, man. Cheers. I really appreciate you guys. Vintage equals old guys. It's not that it equals old guys. It's they're more patient. They're more experience is something you cannot give to people. So experience tells you this card's going to go up over time. Also, vintage guys typically have a lot of shit going on in their lives, right? You don't have time to track everything going on in your fantasy football team. Where modern guys are very much focused on the kind of day-to-day in and out vibes. Like for example, the other day I got an offer for my damn it, what was that? The quarterback hooker. I had a hooker card. I got a big offer for it, and I totally missed it. I expired the offer. I'm sitting there going, shit, I would have accepted that. And then I thought to myself, why did this offer even come out? And apparently it played a few weeks ago, right? That's a perfect example. If you're not in on modern, you know what's going on, you're going to miss that water flowing. Repacks. So repacks. Vintage repacks. I love vintage repacks. I've been in one or two a long time ago where they do the entire set, right? Where they're going to do like, because when you do a good set, man, you've got what? Hall of Famers you can chase. Everybody wants the Mantle or Ruth or whatever it is. I've done them. I've always got the base card. And you're like, well, even the base card, you get some value, you can grade it or whatever. Nah, I never do that. I just always lose out. But I like it. It's a lotto shot. It's a chip in a chair, baby. I could maybe get a Mantle out of buying into a set. The difference is the flippability on that when you resell that, right? Unless you hit one of those big cards, all the other cards are really junk. Like you talk about disappointing your customers, they're paying maybe, I don't know, $50 for the card to buy into the break or whatever. I'm just making this numbers up. And they get a card worth back maybe $1 or $2. That also does not sell very easily. It's not flashy. It has no velocity of transaction. Where on a regular break, see here to break, I can get to a break. And I do recommend getting breaks where you get something back. There are breaks where you get skunked. I'm not a big fan of that, but I think you can find break with value. When you get the something back, the something doesn't have to be valuable right now. Like everybody talks about, oh, I got back $5 worth of cards from the break. Oh, I got skunked. Well, did you really get $5 of the cards? Or did you get some rookies that maybe they're like little seedlings? And if you wait long enough, they grow into bigger seeds and maybe they flower. Maybe you have a $50, Mizorowski rookie that you had left over from a break from a few years ago, right? So that's the thing I love about breaking. Breaking, you're scooping. You're gathering up a team, a player, a class, whatever it might be, and you're putting it away, right? It's almost like mini collecting. Back to the repacking. Oh, let me see here. Oh, I only got one guy getting rich buying, grading, selling PSA. It's not about getting rich. There's a market in it. Like you totally can, and I have made money buying raw, grading and selling. The thing that I do, which is even stupider, is that a word, stupider? Is that I buy in breaks. Now, I have learned over time to be a little bit better at doing that. I don't buy in every product. Like every product's not a really good chase, but I'll give you an example, man. In the Chrome product, the VFriends Chrome, I think I spent about $4,000 in breaks. And at the end of that, I started just realizing just buy the Black Cat and the Gary V case breaks, right? I think I spent $700 on the Black Cat spot, and I spent $1,000 on the Black Cat spot. I'm just going to explain to you guys something. There's 100 spots in this damn product. I spent $1,000 on a case break of Black Cat, which you're just thinking, sounds like you're talking, Greek to me. But I had calculated what's the average cost of that spot, what's the value of the card, what's the value of the base, right? Needless to say, I have about, I don't know. Okay, I'll give you this. I sold one Black Cat that was a manga Black Cat, graded PSA 10 for $955. I love that cat. It's a very, 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 very lucky Black Cat. I had another one I sold for a couple $100. It was a PSA 9. Had some sketches I sold, but my point to this is I've already made back my money, and I have probably 20 Black Cats at PSA right now being graded. I don't care if they come back 9s. I got a whole litter of kittens, buddy, And those kittens are going to make a lot of money. That's all I'll say. Um, oh, goodness. So you absolutely can make money. Black cat for 1,000. Exactly, Mike. It's crazy. And that was a lot. I got him in a case for $700. Now, here's another thing I'll say about this too. When you do this, right, you've got to have, I look at it mathematically. I'm not looking at it, well, I'm not going to say I'm not looking at it as a risk or a gamble. It absolutely is a risk. I look at it mathematically just to look at gambling. If I would have done poorly in one case and poorly, like, I don't think you can do poorly in a full case. Like, there's almost one black cat per box. There's 12 cats, 12 boxes in a case. And those are talking base to shiny. But let's just say you only got 6 black cats, and those black cats all graded poorly. You're still getting a rebate back, and you've got to spend the money grading, the time, and the patience or whatever. But the next case, what you got to do next case, your dollar cost averaging, right? So the more cases you can do at a very focused product, you can make a lot of money. I'll give you another example real quickly here. The Everybody's angry about the rookie royalty product, how it sucks, what a money grab by Panini. I'll tell you what, Panini is so upset how much money they left on the table. Like, if anything, they should have sold that as a product. They should have done a better job of marketing it too. Like, no one knew what the hell it was, no one knew what the checklist was. But the reality is that is one of the best, and I'm not kidding, best value products at the dollar on its release that I have seen in almost forever. And the reason is, again, if you look at the map, okay, every box is going to have at least one Caitlin or one Angel Reese autograph in it. Okay. So you know that. That means half of them 50%. You have 50-50 shot. Okay. But on top of that, you know that Caitlin has a whole bunch of cards that are not autographs. Those are non-autographs. Her kabooms and her kabowies and I forget what else they had in there. The downtowns, right? She has a bunch of those in there. And here's another cool thing. You figure this out if you're smart enough. This product's hand packed, which means Panini put the product together, and nowhere is Panini going to put 2 Caitlin Clarks. And if they did, maybe they did it once, but they're not doing it on often. They're not putting 2 Caitlin Clarks. So if you figure how many extra Caitlin Clarks you have, you can calculate what you can do. There's a Chat GPT that you had, I think, a 61% chance, or maybe greater, of hitting a Caitlin Clark in every box. Those are really damn good odds. When her cards were averaging like $4,000 to $5,000 or more at a release day, and the boxes were $3,000 to $4,000 on the website, I think $5,000 or $6,000 on break day. I'll see you in the morning, Orlando. Have a good night, Mr. Petty. You know, I want to talk about repacks. I do want to talk about breaking, but I'll also say I feel like I'm alone talking about breaking. Like, I don't know why more breakers don't speak up. I'm not even really a breaker. I personally do not like to be on camera breaking cards. That is not the thing I like to do. I've done it. I will do it. But I just love breaking. Like, I'd rather, I don't know. It's not really important. Let's talk about the repacks. Is a war coming? And could that be good for us? I think it would be, because I think it would drive up demand, right, on buying products. But it could also mean consolidation in the market space pretty soon. You can see people buying each other. I do think you're going to see, I don't know, this whole PSA thing. If I want to see them strike a deal with, I know you're going to hate to hear this, but let's say they did a backyard breaks certified repack. They have the audience, right? They have the younger audience. So will there be a breaker versus repack war, you think? No. Because here's the thing, breakers will sell anything. And what I mean by that, not like in a bad way, but they'll sell repacks or they'll sell regular products. They don't care. I will tell you, I think breakers feel better selling repacks because there's less disappointment. Like, one thing as a breaker, when you're breaking a product and the product sucks, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, God, I can't believe I just charged you that much money and we got shit, man. Like, that's not, the breaker does not want that to happen. In a repack, I think the breaker feels better because they know the floor is a certain level or whatever. And again, if they have a really good repack, they feel damn good. I mean, I'm not kidding. If you've got a good repack, like I watch those guys, I'm not going to say names, but there's one repack out there. It's pretty solid, has a pretty good base, pretty good reputation. The breaker, I think, feels good. So he knows every night one guy's hitting big, and nobody's hitting nothing. Some people are just not getting back all their money, right? And again, that getting back their money, that's a whole different thing. I do think there should be breaker consolidation. So the beatings are less with repacks. Are the beatings? No, in fact, dude, that's not the case at all. There's probably less margin in a repack for breakers. Well, I don't know. It depends if they it depends on how they make it. Um, it's a good question. For me, from my perspective, I'd say um, we'd rather sell good hot product that people want that goes at market price, right? Because if you get it at a good allocated price and it has a good market price, you're doing well. There are a lot of products like that. Like most of the products from last year, I think have had good market drive. Some have not, and there's been some interesting ones too. Like I'll say Bowman, when Bowman came out last year, um, it did not do well, and then it took off. Well, it kind of hurts him. I think there will be a huge drop off in low end sports grading unless the prices of PSA 9s. I don't know about that though. Like I will say, I think sports card grading has already dropped off. I think people are getting smarter about it. I think PSA is definitely getting harder, but I think like for myself, I'll give you an example. I'm talking about VFriends, guys. I grade more. I hope this microphone's working better too. I grade more non-sports cards right now. I really do. I have several submissions out with PSA, and I don't know. Can I share my screen? I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I want to do it either. Let's see. Right now, I've got a TCG for 20 out at PSA, a TCG for 40. I got a sport for 20, another sport for 20, and then a TCG for 36. So I've got, what's that? 60, 90, 96 TCG and 40. I've even got more TCG. I got a lot of TCG. A lot of TCG being graded right now. Why is that important? Because I also think there's a market for that. I've seen repacks in that space as well. In fact, that's another space where I can kind of see why people are doing that. I saw a repack with the Disney characters, right? If you're what they do, Disney princesses. Think about this, right? Disney princesses. Everybody gets a princess. Somebody's princess is gold. Somebody's is orange, and somebody's is red. Damn, that's compelling. It's no different than Labubus, guys, right? It's sadly, I mean, I'm sitting here thinking I should make my own repacks. I will not do that, but I understand why they do that. Like I sell probably to repackers. I don't care where I sell to. I mean, I'm not selling to bad people, but I've sold a lot of VFriends where I can tell they were going after some of the cards for chases or whatever. I agree, Charles. TCG grading is a lot easier to grade too. It's a lot faster. In fact, I'll tell you this too. On my TCG orders, I see them coming back faster. My sports card orders seem to take I won't say the full time. None of them I've seen. I've had one order, I think, recently that's gone the full 65 days. But my TCG ones are coming back a lot faster, man, a lot faster. And I've got a whole bunch of TCG orders to put in. Like I want to grade. In fact, I got some of those 1776 cards. I'm gonna grade those. I'll just show some cool cards. Nah, it's not really that cool. It's cool to me. This is a cool card to me. I think this is cool. I just thought the card was cool, so I had it graded. Call for family. It's not a very powerful card, 70, but it's one of those full arts, right? So it is in a illustration rare. And I kind of dig it. I like how look at that. Do you like that? How like the how that light kind of comes in on like that. That's pretty cool. And they're so much cheaper in my opinion. Like, I don't know. Pokemon cards don't go for hundreds, but they go for 30 or 40 or $50 a lot often. And this is a cool one I got. This is a Fanatics Fest pickup. It's a graded 9. Here's my VFriend character here. I'm the OG Ox. That's one I like the most. I think most of you guys are OG Oxes. You don't realize that. But competitive advantage, hardened by life's toughest trials, unshakable and resilient in the face of adversity. Come on, OG Oxes. Where are you, dude? One of my favorite things I heard this week, and you guys heard the same thing, was when Jeremy said on Sports Card Live he brought his kids home some Gary Free V cards, and his wife asked if he could get them more. I thought that was awesome. That's what I like about them. I mean, I got kids. My kids dig them. I know other kids who like them, and I've made money off them. So I don't know what to say. Pretty good times. Here's some cool cards too. Check these out, man. So that's a marble card, but here's what I want to show you. That's cool. Check out these Snoopies, buddy. Snoopy stickers. Snoopy scratch and sniff. Snoopy tattoo. I was just thinking, could you put that on your forehead? And some other cool Snoopy cards. I was thinking about getting these graded. I don't know. We'll see. I giggle, but dude, there's value there. Okay, I think I'm done with my live. I think the microphone worked. Shout out to Victor who told me earlier my voice on my earlier video was too quiet. Man, I really should start breaking some cards. You guys want to get into a break? Come to me, Peppermint Patty. Hell, Bob Boozle's in the house. You are not Pokemaster. I am Pokemaster. Wife started to get the broom and sweep Be Friends in the trash bag. Dude, Be Friends is good stuff, man. It's good stuff. If you don't like it, bring it down to the kids at the local kindergarten. I'm serious. Like, it's so simple. It's so easy. Just be friends. Guys, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. I really do. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever. I need a co-host.